aggressive about it. Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a breaking news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. And this video has got nothing to do with transfer news. You guys have been asking me a lot in the live shows, what is going on with the Mykhailo Mudryk situation? Well, we have had big breaking news. Matt Law with the exclusive. Mykhailo Mudryk has been charged by the FA for doping offences, with a player now facing a lengthy ban. Under FA rules, Mudryk could be banned for as long as 4 years. Now, we know there was a failed test back in December that was announced for the banned substance meldonium. Mudryk's maintained his innocence throughout the whole situation. Chelsea are standing by him. But let's wait and see whether this development changes anything. I still think that there's a long way to go in this, and this was a inevitable situation. We knew this was going to happen. He had been provisionally suspended following that positive doping test, and then we're now looking at a situation where he produced a positive A sample believed to contain that performance-enhancing substance meldonium last year. And then we've heard literally nothing on Mudryk really since December. He was there out in Wrocław for the Conference League final, mixing with Chelsea fans. He's still thought of very fondly by the supporters. And Matt Law's article adds that Mudryk hired the same people that represented Paul Pogba. Mudryk hired Morgan Sports Law to work on his case, with Chelsea also providing support. Morgan Sports Law also represented Paul Pogba in his appeal against a 4-year doping ban, which the Court of Arbitration for Sport later reduced to 18 months. So, yeah, look, sad, but inevitable. This news shouldn't come as a surprise. There's still no verdicts right now. He's been charged, but this will have to go to some sort of trial, I guess, for want of a better phrase. I mean, I know in criminal law it would be a trial. I don't know what it would be in this sense, but it will go to a panel. It'll go to something along those lines, and Mudryk will have to plead his case. I've got absolutely no idea what information, what evidence he's got, what evidence the lawyers have got, if Chelsea have got any evidence or anything along those lines either. But as a staunch supporter of Mudryk, as a staunch advocate of him, I'm a big fan of the player. I really like him. I think he offers something very, very unique. And I think we've actually missed him as well, to be honest, whilst he's not been here. We've missed having that option. He was improving this season under Maresca. I felt he'd been managed well. And then this situation appears out of nowhere. I mean, I really do wonder whether we will ever know the full truth on the situation. I just wonder if he's been advised really badly. I mean, has he been sabotaged is another thing. The problem is, even if he had been sabotaged, how on earth do you prove that? How on earth do you prove that there was sabotage? Because at the end of the day, the prosecuting party, whether that be the FA or whatever it is, FIFA, UEFA, whatever governing body it is, they don't have to prove anything. They don't have to prove anything, because that positive test is their proof, and the burden is on you as the player to prove that you unwillingly didn't take it. Now, this isn't a case of Mudryk's going to walk away scot-free. I think it's fair to say we never got the result of the B sample. I think it's pretty obvious that the result of the B sample was positive, even though that's not been announced. I think it's safe to say that that the B sample was positive, and now it's on Mudryk and the lawyers to prove otherwise. Call me naive, call me whatever you want, guys. I refuse to believe that Mudryk knowingly or willingly took any banned substance. I refuse to believe that. Now, that could be me burying my head in the sand, but I refuse to believe that any player would be that stupid to take a banned substance, knowing full well that they are not going to play for 4 years minimum, or maybe 18 months on an appeal. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone knowingly do that, thinking they're going to get away with it? Now, could he have surrounded himself with the wrong people? Could he be being badly advised? Yes, it's very possible. It's very possible that could be the case. And the problem is, though, when you're a young, naive, you're an impressionable guy, you trust these people. You put your trust in these people, and potentially he's been massively, massively let down. He's a shy, very reserved character, comes across as a nice guy. I've met him on several occasions. By the way, this is not me putting out some sort of character reference for him as if this is evidence is going to go in court. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. Young, impressionable guy. I've met him a couple of times. I met him at Cobham. I met him out in Saudi Arabia as well. Literally sat next to him at lunch in a hotel in Riyadh back in December. He was there with his Ukrainian boys. Lovely lad. And yeah, this is not a good situation. I think it's fair to say now that his Chelsea career is probably over. And what the club decide to do from here, I don't know. I don't know what the club are going to decide to do from here. But we are in a situation where it's not worth speculating about his long-term future, but it'll be interesting to see how this develops from here. This is like, I know this is breaking news, but this shouldn't really come as a surprise. This is the inevitable, and this is what we absolutely should have expected. If further news comes out in due course, that it was a genuine mistake, or he was badly advised, or whatever it was, and I feel absolutely gutted for him. But he's young enough at 24 to be able to continue his playing career after this probably inevitable ban. He'll be young enough to continue his career. Unfortunately, I think whilst we can't speculate on his long-term career at Chelsea, even if it's reduced to 18 months like it was with Paul Pogba, I don't see Chelsea standing by him for 18 months and continuing to pay him. He'll have to take the ban, and then he will come back and join another club somewhere. And I think he'll go on and have a very successful career. I think whatever you think of Mykhailo Mudryk as a footballer, just think about this on a human level. Think about what he's gone through in his life already, coming from the Ukraine, war-torn country, very little experience, speaking little English, coming to a new country, big move to the Premier League, starting to find his feet a little bit last season, and then hit with this massive situation, which is going to have a huge, huge impact on his footballing career, which he's worked so hard to achieve, coming from, a very underprivileged background in Ukraine. On a human level, you have to feel desperately sorry for him. Now, we still don't know the full details. And as I say, if he's knowingly done this, then I hold my hands up and he's got no one to blame but himself, and he has to take full responsibility. But it's desperately sad. It's desperately upsetting. It's inevitable. And this is now a statement from an FA spokesperson as well, saying that we can confirm that Mykhailo Mudryk has been charged with anti-doping rule violations alleging the presence and or use of a prohibited substance in terms of Regulation 3 and 4 of the FA's anti-doping regulations. As this is an ongoing case, we are not in a position to comment further at this time. So yeah, guys, don't expect to hear anything more for a good few months on this situation. Now, I would have thought that the process has got a process, and yeah, we have to do our thing. We have to do our thing and wait and see what happens. But yeah, look, it's a real shame, inevitable. But Mykhailo Mudryk has been charged by the FA with anti-doping rule violations, and now we wait and see how this one pans out, and we go from there. But that is the breaking news, guys. Mykhailo Mudryk charged by the FA for doping violations. Now, as always, chat, smash the likes, subscribe if you're new around here, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you lot in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Love.